Because mooting is a simulated court hearing, formal language is required. So what sort of language do you need to use to look like a seasoned barrister? Let's start from the beginning. If you're senior counsel, you'll have to introduce yourself and your teammate. This introduction is called taking appearances. The judge will say,
"In the matter of Smith and Yang, the New South Wales Court of Appeal is now in session. The court will now be taking appearances."
And then you will respond,
"May it please the court, my name is Ashani Gangopadhyay and I appear with my learned junior Michelle Jiang for the appellant Miss Elma Gantry in this matter."
After appearances are taken, each mooter will stand up and move to the lectern to speak. Usually, senior counsel for the appellant will speak, then junior counsel for the appellant, then senior counsel for the respondent, and then junior counsel for the respondent. When it is your turn to speak, you begin by saying,
"May it please the court."
If you're senior counsel, you can begin by giving a brief introduction of the facts and then stating your side's submissions. However, if you're junior counsel, you don't need to give that brief introduction and you can just dive straight into your submissions. Let's hear a brief example of a senior counsel introduction.
"May it please the court, Your Honours, this case concerns the injury suffered by the appellant when she fell on play equipment that was very wet and slippery after it was hosed down by the respondent. There was no warning sign displayed stating that the park may be dangerous when wet. Your Honours, I will present two submissions. First, that the respondent owed a duty of care, and second, that the respondent breached that duty of care. My learned junior will then present our third submission that the respondent's negligence caused the injury suffered."
Now let's do some general tips relating to oral submissions. Number 1, remember when you're referring to cases that we don't say v. Instead, if it's a civil case, we say Abbott and Bell. If it's a criminal case, we say Abbott against Bell. Also, remember when referring to a judge to use their full title. For example, instead of saying Kiefel CJ, we say Chief Justice Kiefel. Number 2, each of your points is called a submission. Remember to be clear about what your submissions are. When turning to a new point, you might say,
"I will now turn to my second submission."
There's a few other mooting phrases that you might find useful when presenting your oral submissions. For example, at around 19.5 minutes, you might say,
"Your Honours, I note that my time has almost expired. May I request a 1-minute extension?"
This is a polite way to ask for more time to finish your submissions when your speaking time is almost up. However, remember to specify the specific amount of time that you want to complete your submissions, such as 1 or 2 minutes. Or when you're unable to answer a question from the judge, you might also say,
"I cannot assist the court in that matter."
It's important to remember to be respectful throughout your moot. This includes referring to the judge as Your Honour and the other team as our learned friends. Also, remember that this isn't debating. You don't need to point out every flaw in the other team's case. Remember to focus on your own case.
Respect also extends beyond what you say to how you act. After you finish delivering your oral submissions, you should remain quiet and listen respectfully to the other mooter. Don't just lounge around or use your phone or anything like that.
In 2021, some of the moots will be held online. If your moot is online, remember to test your camera and microphone beforehand. Also, remember to mute yourself during the moot so that you don't create background noise. It's also important to try and make eye contact. The best way to do this is to look towards the camera rather than around the room or at a screen that isn't near your camera.
We've covered a lot of mooting etiquette in this video, but don't stress if you forget any of it. The most important thing is to remain confident and polite throughout your moot. And the extra mannerisms will come as you gain mooting experience along the way. So now it's time for you to give it a go. Sign up now to one of the upcoming Law Society mooting competitions. More information on these competitions can be found on the Law Society website, the brief, or the Law Society Facebook discussion forum. We hope to see you in a moot soon.